Hey guys, what's up? Moses here, bringing you another video guide. In the past last few days of the Abyss League here, I was able to speed level quite a few characters. It's been fun. Like we made 3 builds in the last week, and they all reached level past 90 or 92, 93. And this particular one just basically has level 87 with roughly 17 hours, having yesterday being a 4-hour stream where I mostly just did the shopping and refining the end game gear, purchasing jewels and all that trading stuff. That's mostly what I did on stream. So effective 13 hours, 12 and a half hours play until we reach level 87 and like 3% with 7 deaths. Well, the death count has been well, no. Sorry about that. So the death count has remained quite the same, but I wanted in this video to run you through what we've been doing. We're playing a Scion currently with quite a nice life pool here. The Scion will go into both of these ascendancies. We picked up the Slayer for the Leech. It provides and the Sustain, as well as Assassin and Path of the Shadow for the awesome crit and power charge interaction with the build, and the excellent crit and damage scaling, as well as beautiful life nodes of the Shadow starting area that we can only get access to once we pick up Path of the Shadow. Now, you can do that when you finish your Cruel Ascendancy. You can just choose to go with Assassin and Path of the Shadow. So normal and Cruel Ascendancy. When these are done, you can start picking nodes from the Shadow tree. But the way I chose to go with it is I first went for Slayer, and just to be able to get all the sustain, it helped me a lot, quite a lot while leveling, and I only gained access to Path of the Shadow basically yesterday when we finished Izaro and gained access, and we changed up the tree. So yeah, so let's get into the actual build. What we're doing, we're basically clearing with Lightning Strike, which is went through a animation rework right now, so it looks a little bit like this. Actually quite beautiful and enjoyable, fun skill to go with. You can also use impulses, by the way, for the extra explosions and all that lightning interaction that the chests provide. I personally chose to go with a rare, well-rolled astral plate that I had from previous characters, since it is the end of the league and I've been spewing all my currency in all these builds, and I kind of like went a bit low. So yeah, but yeah, we're using the Onigoroshi, which is another thing to talk about. The yeah, Onigoroshi is a new unique sword that, well, you can farm it yourself. It will take a few hours. It basically has a guaranteed chance to drop or so once a character reaches level 7 and never leaves the Twilight Strand. So what you're gonna have to be doing is chaining multiple instances, characters, since you can't create multiple instances of the Twilight Strand level 1 character, and the instance remain for like 10 minutes or so. So you're gonna need to have a few characters which you will rotate then and slowly level up to level 7. All these multiple characters, I believe 3 or 4 is what's required. I'm not entirely sure. Haven't farmed this sword myself, but was able to pick it up from period trade for about 70k. I slapped a couple of divines on those and gained that near perfect increased critical chance that runs between 70 to 90%. The Onigoroshi is a one-handed sword that equips both slots of your main hand and offhand, so you cannot use a shield with this sword, but it will scale with your level as you level up. It will also be a 6-link that you can get from level 1, And yeah, so as you can see, it adds 2 to 3 physical damage to attacks per level. So as you level up, you gain more physical damage that then you can scale your damage out from. And then whenever you ignite an enemy, it has this her embrace effect that makes you take some life per second, which will be then mitigated by the Slayer Ascendancy and the Overleech that we're getting from that. And then while you're under the effect of her embrace, you gain 123% of sword physical damage as extra fire damage, which is a huge damage buff. It lasts for about 3 seconds, but when we're playing, and you know, it basically is up for almost 100% uptime. So yeah, kind of an excellent sword. I believe it was Molten Strike I started with. I don't really remember what skill I got at level 1, but I think it was Molten Strike, or I'm not entirely sure. Either way, you pick up some attack skill at level 12. You can start using Lightning Strike. With Ancestral Call, you can already get that from level 4. It's in fact an excellent leveling process with the sword. You absolutely obliterate content, and the playthrough is super quick. I was able to finish with leveling gear story from Act 1 to Kitava Kill at level 66 at 7.5 hours. So it was the fastest character I leveled up so far, and the leveling process is also uploaded to YouTube in one long. I just basically uploaded the entire stream. So yeah, let's talk about the Lightning Strike. Right here, deals 50% of physical damage converted to lightning. We gained the other 50% from physical to lightning. So we're dealing lightning damage, and we get that more multiplier from physical to lightning, as well as increased lightning damage for that quality. Excellent gem to use. We're also using increased critical damage. Since we ramp up with all the power charges, our critical strike chance to quite a lot. Fully buffed, I believe my character has 72% critical strike chance, which is in fact quite insane. So for this particular build, increased critical damage will be amazing. Partly because of the weapon itself has a 9.45% chance to crit, which is a bit maybe higher if we roll 90% on that, but yeah. At level 38 we gain access to multi-strike, but before that we can use added fire damage or whatnot. In the endgame build we're not using it, however we're using Ancestral Call, increased critical damage, multi-strike, physical to lightning, and elemental damage with attacks. As well as of course Lightning Strike. For the single target we're going to be using Blade Flurry, since I never played it before and I heard it's quite a good single target damage skill. It takes a little bit, it's kind of a weird channeling thing. I don't know, I've been playing it for the first time. It deals pretty massive amounts of damage. You basically channel it, and when it gets to 6 stacks it kind of like deals that little explosion, but overall it just like does a tremendous amount of damage for single target. So we're using that. On the second 6 link we have our Blade Flurry with elemental damage with attacks. Crit damage, again the same crit chance applies to this skill even though it's not socketed into the weapon. Added fire for this one is a 6 link, conk effect, and melee physical damage. If you're only running a 5 link you give up the added fire. For the rest of the gems in the build we're using Hatred and Herald of Ash. Creates a nice little synergy. We're getting some cold, we're getting some fire. All these AoE explosions from Herald of Ash seems very, very fun. Again, first time I got the chance to use it, I believe, since Legacy League with my Sunder character. So yeah, it's been a while, and Herald of Ash is in fact quite a lot of fun. Quality on the Hatred gives it area of effect, so you don't want that. However, with Herald of Ash you will get 15% fire damage increase, so worthwhile to get one, or get it to 20 and then flip it to level 1 20 quality and then level it up all over again. as we do with gems. Summon Ice Golem for increased critical strike chance, as well as elemental weakness with cast when damage taken. I found that I was just unable to fit Immortal Call in here, but my survivability is quite nice. Again, we died only 9 times. I don't know. There it is. We died only 9 times in up to level 87, and quite a few of these deaths could have been avoided if I paid a little bit more attention. So yeah, but I decided to go without the standard Immortal Call for the physical immune, but instead with elemental weakness, since I couldn't really manage to balance my resistances to benefit, and we're dealing both fire, lightning, and cold damage, so it makes it hard for us to benefit out of all the resistances of the Wise Oak, which should be very, very optimal for elemental penetration of resistances. So I went with elemental weakness over here with Ancestral Protector. Would be amazing if you can get yourself Tomb Fist with elemental weakness on hit, and then you could fit something else in here. Totally up to you. In the helmet, I picked up lightning strike damage. End of league prices, I was able to get this beautiful helmet that takes care of all the resists and life, and even some strength for additional damage and life for only about 2 exalts with the helmet enchant, so quite nice stuff. It actually has increased evasion. Ha! I literally bought it yesterday, so didn't really get the chance to even take a look. So yeah, slap some armor on there. 74 video stream RNG. Feels really good. Just a cool, perfect roll on the first attempt. That is so crazy. Alright, so we got here Blood Rage, as we do with attack skills. Again, the Ascendancy from the Slayer just allows you to take all the Her Embrace damage and all the Blood Rage damage over time effects that we're getting from overleeching. Your life stays on full almost the entire, unless you're like taking hits, of course, but like from the Her Embrace and Blood Rage effects, we're getting all the life regeneration retrieved from the Slayer leech. The life leech not affected and not removed at full life, so that's what allows us to do so. So we're getting the Blood Rage going. Faster attacks, Fortify Leap Slam is our movement skill, so for that you don't really need to use Bootsmith movement skill with movement speed, but I don't know, I felt like, running around in town, going out to, I don't know, it's more comfortable, and yeah, for that reason I'm not using an Adrenaline Flask. However, I did level up with Adrenaline Flask and, earlier stages in the game. Faster attack, Sleep Slam, not really doing all that quick work, so Adrenaline Quicksilver Flask was what I was using for the leveling. Over here we got Hatred and Herald of Ash. We went through that. This is the 1 and the 2 6 links. Already went through that. When it comes to gear, just a bunch of elemental damage with attack. Some attack speed works pretty well, so I picked one with attack speed. If you've crit recently, which is all the time, some life, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We got ourselves a Taste of Hate at Serious Promise, heat removal with Experimenter's Diamond Flask, as well as warding Silver Flask for the Onslaught. Prefix here is quite bad, we should re-roll that, as well as an instant staunching Life Flask. Again, when it comes to the tree, that's how it's going to look post Uber Lab, right? When you're going to have the access to the shadow nodes. But beforehand, we're going to be using, we're going to be leveling straight up from the Scion tree and moving along. So around level 83, pre-Uber Lab, that's how your build should look like, pretty much, before you're going into Uber Lab and starting to pick up all these points from the shadow area. That's how your build will look like. You're going to be starting off with the, I went with the projectile damage. Just straight up, even though I only got Lightning Strike at level 12, projectile damage from the beginning, as well as Sentinel. Here I picked up the crit chance nodes and the life nodes. a bit later actually. I went straight here, picked up Constitution, and then went down, picked up all the life nodes from the Marauder tree. That was like basically how it went. Just down here, Born to Fight, picked up Strong Arm, and then when we went past that, I went down in here through the Duelist area of life, and the projectile damage nodes. This is actually a mistake, that's how it looks like. Picked up life over here, went to Leech. I only went Val Pact once I finished the story. Throughout the story you don't really need it. Yeah, it only helps leeching quicker once you get into maps and such. Before Uberlab and after the story, that period of time only, then you'll pick up Val Pact. Throughout the story you don't need it. So yeah, Golem's Blood, if you manage to get a couple of jewels, go get them, spec into these jewel sockets, but otherwise life nodes, some more one-hand crit chance fencing is very, very good. Complements the whole crit theme build quite nicely. Herbalism for life. These Fatal Blade are excellent like nodes, all these right here. Awesome stuff. Some Frenzy and some Heartseeker action at the end, as well as a jewel socket. So again, you basically go down from the Scion all the way to the life nodes of the Marauder. Yeah, life here, pick up this, life here, got your leech, and then yeah, this is your order. And that's pretty much it for the build guide. I mean, other than that, what else do we fail to mention? I guess gameplay. So let's get into a map. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't hover over the rings and amulet. This is something I crafted in one of these insane thousands of chaos spam crafting sessions. I found it excellent for this build, and yeah, I was trying to get extra frenzy charges, got chaos as a corruption, but this amulet is absolutely bonkers. You know, the crit multi with the elemental damage with attacks, life resists, I mean, beautiful stuff. Here we got some crit ring with flat fizz. Increased melee damage is an elder mod that you can get with a bit of accuracy and some strength. Here I bought this one probably around 40 chaos or so. End of league prices. Again, people want to get rid of this stuff that they don't need. Managed to get that 95 max flat fizz for the yeah, master crafting as well as life. And yeah, this is the gear. That's pretty much it. Here we get these Tomb Fists. You guys already know the effects. We need a Murderous Eye Drill to get the Intimidate, which makes monster take 10% more damage. Alright, let's get into a map. I guess Colonnade, since we want to proc Shaper on some red maps. So let's go ahead and do it. Wait, was it Promenade or Colonnade? I was getting confused. Colonnade, I guess. That's the right one. Oh my god, I got many Colonnade maps. That's quite funny. Quite a few of these. So yeah, end of the league. We are kind of getting broke, but it's fine. I don't know about minus max. Extra crit seems good. And then feeble, which will be mitigated with the warding flask. So here we are. Oh, there's temp chains. Okay, I guess that will be also mitigated with the warding flask. So that's this is the build. You just basically blow up everything. Lightning Strike still can't really you know, get stuck on platforms and such. It does have this problem. We're using Blade Flurry to down these nasty rare abyss monsters. And yeah, fun times. So just very, very fun characters, super quick, you know, just super fun. I mean, I had a very, very fun time leveling it up, as well as you know, mapping with it. I was doing speed farming with to level it up so quickly, you know, 87 to sorry, 66 to 87 I went and did a bunch of breach stones. That was a lot of fun. We did I believe it was something like 25, 30 Zoff, 8 Tals, 7 Esh, and 14 Olnitol breachstones overall. Spent about 6 exalts and like, I don't know, 400 chaos or so for all these breachstones, and ended up leveling this character to 87. At that point I was exhausted, finished the stream, and the day after just went with the Uber Lab and completed the Shadow area. Shadow is good because we're getting all the physical damage nodes and coordination, a bunch of attack speed, excellent life nodes. It's just a very well-rounded, you know, starting area. There's a lot of good stuff for our build here. This was Blood Drinker, good life nodes, extra frenzy charge, and you can spec into this jewel sockets if you have the extra points. Currently the character is level 87. I don't know how far I'm gonna go with it, since I guess I'm gonna be farming with this character in the next few days. Maybe we'll mix up and bringing some good old Arc and Stormcall and Frostbolt Totem action. I've been having a lot of fun this league. I mean, this league has been quite a blast with all the Shaper Elder items and all the, you know, new bosses, new prismatic jewels, bunch of awesome crafting, you know, all these nice mods for Elder and Shaper on weapons and on rings and on amulets. It has been quite a blast. Can't wait to play Bestiary League, or also known as Pokemon. It's gonna be awesome. I don't know what build I'm gonna play just yet, but we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you all for watching. See you guys on stream. Links for the builds below.